Now I've got the amazing Shashwat Bulusu in the studios. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
And I'd love an introduction from yourself. Tell us all about you.
Hey man, I'm Shashwat Bulusu. I'm from Baroda.
Nice.
It's a town it's no longer a town, it's like a city now. I'm a singer-songwriter. I do a little bit of visuals. I produce music. And I'm also a lawyer on the side. And just like a bunch of these things. And I put out 2 new songs called Abad and Charkha.
Which are brilliant, by the way.
Thank you so much.
That's so good.
Thanks a lot. And just to let people know that I've put out songs, I'm touring and traveling across, and that's what brings me to Bangalore. Yeah.
You're very well. The city welcomes you with its traffic and its rain and its bad roads.
Thank you so
But we
much.
love it. We love it.
I love it as well. At least there's a breeze.
That's true.
Ease
There's
the
a
pain,
breezy. The city. Honestly, just it grows on you, man.
Yeah. I've got family over here, and like every time I come here, like on the way, it always feels like, why am I over here? Then I realize you can enter the house and not switch on the fan.
Yeah.
Just be at peace, and I'm like, okay, it all works.
It all works. Now, the songs that you release are spectacular songs. What exactly is your songwriting process?
It's like, to be very honest, it's like there's no process per se. The process is to sit at the table
And right.
and try and write something every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like every day I need to write something new. It's like it's a muscle you have to train.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like how you start with ABCD and you get to framing sentences. So it's like you have to keep doing that so that you develop your own vocabulary and like your language that works
Mm-hmm.
the best for like my music. So I just that's the process, and sometimes it might change, like maybe the time of the day where I'm writing might change, but like it's like sort of I look at it sort of like a job as well. Like if I write 7 things in 1 week, at least one of them could be decent enough to sort of like be fleshed out into a song. So that's more or less.
That sort of comes back to, what if you get writer's block? How do you work around that?
I mean, like, I don't think like there's like writer's block is like a legitimate thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're just lucky, bro.
No.
Dude, I get writer's block all the time. I'm still on my writer's block.
So the thing is, writer's block, people like you don't end up writing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, you can always write something bad.
But it's bad.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Right.
If it's bad, you don't need to let people know that.
It's for yourself.
Yeah, it's for yourself. You get like, it's like getting all like, you know how cricketers when they're practicing, like they get all the bad shots out of the way in the nets.
Yeah.
So that they can play the good innings. So it's like that. You get all the bad writing out of the way so that you get to the good song. So like as long as you know that you're writing bad,
It's fine.
You're in a good
Yeah,
place.
I think that's very true. As long as you know it's bad writing, I think that's when you're okay. That's
so like
true.
it's literally like writer's block is that like we're afraid that we'll write something bad on a piece of paper, but like it's not bad. Like you're not like no one's going to consume it if you don't let others know. Yeah.
Right. Now you call yourself a multifaceted artist. What does that mean to you, and what exactly are you multifaceted in?
I mean, like I just don't like to be called like, okay, this is singer-songwriter Shashwat, or this is
Lawyer
producer Shashwat or lawyer Shashwat. Like everyone's into a bunch of different things.
Right.
Like, and it's like very difficult. It's like I feel like it's like a little limiting to sort of put like just call someone, okay, that this is your identity from this day, and you have to live up to this identity. And the day you're not living like and the day you're not living that particular identity, it's like, oh, you've retired or you've taken a break.
Right.
It's not that. Like sometimes you don't feel like going and playing live, and you want to just draw or just do something else. Like we all do that. Like we all do have these alternate other things that we pursue. So it's just like that's why I'm like, okay, just let's like stick to the wider terms like artist, or like just call me Shashwat.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just call me Lee. Just call him Shashwat.
Yeah.
But you do stand-up comedy as well, right?
Sorry?
Stand-up comedy.
I used to long back.
Not anymore?
Not anymore, man. It's just that's another commitment altogether. Like, like before this interview, we were talking about like validation and all.
Yeah.
That's the art form where like
You need the validation.
That's real time validation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you go on a stage for validation, and if it goes wrong, like with stand up, if it's going wrong, you know it's going wrong, and everyone in the room knows that it's going wrong.
Right.
Like escaping that moment is impossible.
I want to ask you one of your, like, what was the time when you bombed? Like, how did that, like, what happened?
Like the first few open mics were just, they were just like embarrassing. And you know that like an open mic or a gig is going bad when it's the comedians laughing at the fact that there's just dead silence.
Oh.
And I've experienced like a bunch of that happening, like, and then like it got better eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Like it got to a place where I was happy. But then like I was like, okay, there's not as much fun in sort of just saying jokes all the time. So now I've sort of made it like a, whatever I learned from stand up, like writing on stage and all of that, I incorporate that into my music. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Tenacious D?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love Tenacious D. I was gonna ask you, like, cause you're a stand-up comedian. I'm like, do you write comedy rock or do you write comedy music? Have you tried that?
I tried it, but I was like, that's something that should be left to the legends.
Dude, Jack Black is just one
Yeah.
of those legends. And Kyle Gass. I'm a huge Tenacious D fan. Like, I can go on
You know,
and
like
on about
I'm
it.
a bigger fan of these two guys from the New Zealand. They're
Mhm.
called the Flight of the Conchords. Okay.
I think I've heard on some of their music.
They've got, like, this is a recommendation for everyone. They've got this one track out called Hip Hopopotamus and Rhymenoceros.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should like really check them out, and they're like,
Funny.
they're hilarious.
I love it. I'm gonna check this out right
Yeah.
now after this.
You're a pop culture guy, dude. Taika Waititi is one of their best friends. They like,
Oh, that's why.
you know Jerome Clemens, the guy who's like who's in like one of those. He features in a lot of Taika Waititi movies or series. Like he's one of the guys from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm gonna check this out right now.
yeah.
Now, you were featured on Vice.
Yeah.
How was that? Talk to me about that experience.
It was like a wild moment because like this is like when Vice just got to India,
Okay.
and like all of us knew Vice as the wild west of journalism where
Mhm. Yeah.
they go like, and they're covering like mostly left of center stuff. And then like when they wrote that feature, I was like, it was just like a moment of accepting like that this has happened.
Wow.
And that like when you go on the vice.com website and you can search, you can actually search my name and something will pop up. So just like it was just that moment of accepting that this has happened, and like and be like, okay, now I have to work harder.
Right.
So that like, I mean, I'm just imagining this one white dude sitting in like Florida or somewhere, and he's just
Typing this out, yeah.
He's just come across and like, oh, who's this brown kid? He looks up and there's nothing to follow up that article. And that's that. That's also a crazy story, but it's like it doesn't help me monetarily, so it's like yeah.
But I think it helps your reputation, definitely.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can- Vice, guys, just drop that name there. They're
Yeah,
like,
it's like the white person's validation.
Tick mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
the
white
verific-
person. Like, you know, like when I go to the US, it'll be like, okay, Vice has recommended this, so it's like, okay, the edgy kids have approved. I have approved him, so we can sort of mingle with him.
Now, was music your ultimate dream at the end? Like, did you ever want to be a musician? Or did you just
No.
sort of come your way and you're just like, okay, let's try this?
I mean, I just wanted to write songs. To
Right.
be very honest, like I just wanted to write songs, and I used to just share them with my friends, so that like it was like a shared experience between me and my friends. But like I have oscillated between a lot of different dreams.
Mm-hmm.
First dream was to like play basketball and get a job with ONGC or Air
Oh,
India,
wow.
and like just get like one of these safe jobs and play basketball for the rest of my life. Then that didn't work out, and then I was like, okay, I should get into graphic design. And that didn't work out. Then I started studying law, which is what I'm still pursuing. But
Mhm.
like, and then like music just happened midway, where like enough people told me that okay, you should like really put more efforts into it and like present this to an audience. And then just I started enjoying that a lot more. So just went there. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so glad you are pursuing that because you're a talented dude, man.
Thanks, dude.
Talented guy. We just talk about like, that you don't want to be called just one particular thing,
Yeah.
singer-songwriter. But what does it mean to be an artist? To you, what is an artist exactly? And what is his role in society?
I mean, artist has no role in the society. Like artist is not a functional
Huh.
person in the society. Artist is basically just artist is the guy who's doing his thing on the side. Like if you look at historically, most artists that we like celebrate, they were functional people. They were commissioned by the church and by the kingdom
Yeah.
to like sort of make things like beautify the spaces.
Aesthetically nice. Yeah.
They were service providers.
Hmm.
Right now, like it's a very modern. It's very recent that like artists like are talking about like self-expression and all of that. It's like very recent.
Hmm.
So like it's like we're like our own self-contained world, and like we're living in impending doom. That's what we feel all the time, and our role is just to sort of give like we're entertainers,
Hmm.
and sometimes like we use what emotion to entertain with. Like comedians use laughter.
Laughter, yeah.
Like musicians can choose whatever emotion we want to, and like and sort of how to exploit like artists. Yeah, that's one job that artists are great at. They know how to pick an emotion and exploit it and recreate it every time they perform it to an audience, so that the audience can feel the same way that the artist felt when they were writing the song. So it's
But if you look at history,
Yeah.
like the artists were actually the ones pushing the intellectuals and sort of breaking barriers that way, right? The Renaissance and everything. It's because of these artists that actually broke all the rules that were there that we are here right now.
I mean, there was a bit of rule breaking, but like the thing is like the entire Renaissance period was the idea over there was like, come on, we're recovering from a plague. We need to let all of Venice and like all of Rome and everyone know that we're on the right path. The church had to sort of get the confidence back, so they got all of these artists to start painting, and like the idea over there was aesthetics.
Right.
There was no ulterior motive to it. They like, we need to beautify the space.
Hmm.
Like that's the reason why we've been planting trees all of a sudden. It's not ecological. Like like people
That's
city,
the
like,
first.
yeah, like town planning, like most trees that are on the roads, they may not be functional, but they're damn beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's like it started with that purpose, but like obviously a lot of these artists in their private selves that we found after they died, like with their body of work, we found that okay, they had their own expression. They had like Da Vinci was also like an inventor and a scientist, and he was doing all of this.
Hmm.
I think what was happening was back then, like these artists were also hanging out with a lot of the scientists and the thinkers and the philosophers. Like that was like, it was a community of people who were all together. So that sort of pushed, like made all of those things happen. Right now we're living like what happened all those years ago. Now that's like a generally accepted truth.
Right.
Like okay, these people hang out together, and like they like artists are intellectuals because like that community happened back then, I think so. Yeah.
Do you think that we're in that situation now? Like we just came from a pandemic, where you think we're gonna move into that space where we break the rules and change things around the place?
I think I think breaking the rules is going to happen, but like first will be that moment, like it'll be the revival where it'll be just like there's just going to be a flood of a lot of art and music where all the people who could not express or who could not create in the last 3 years, or like who've had a bad time, a lot of them would be coming back, surfacing back. So they'll just start putting out stuff. It might not be breaking the rules, or like it's going to be a part of, like it's going to be a revival, and then we'll start identifying all these key people who are just like who just going in a different direction, and they're just creating something really bizarre that catches all of our eyes. And like we're on that part. I think like the pandemic is like
that push
it is that push for a lot of people. Yeah.
And I think the first time you hear it, he's in the Radio 1 studios, guys. This is where people go back to the interviews later on and be like, wow, this is where it started.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We started it here in Bangalore.
In Bangalore City.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about some comics and some
Yeah.
conspiracies. What are you reading at the moment?
At the moment, so I just finished this book called Munnu by
No.
Malik Sajad.
Wow.
It's a graphic novel about the author Malik Sajad, who is a cartoonist in Kashmir,
Mm-hmm.
and it's his life story represented through like the woodcut technique that
Oh,
was
beautiful.
present in Kashmir, and like all of Kashmir is all of the Kashmiris are represented as the indigenous, like the deer that's found in Kashmir. It's a beautiful graphic novel. So it's like I've just finished reading it the third or the fourth time. But yeah, but besides that, like I'm now getting into a lot of indie comics, like Indian
Mm-hmm.
people making zines and comics. So there's this guy, Anand Chinoy
Okay.
from Delhi. He's Anand Pagal Kutta, I think, on Instagram,
Wow.
and he's mad, dude. He's put it.
He's Pagal Kutta.
Yeah, he's proper Pagal Kutta, and like he's put out like a bunch of really cool comics.
Sweet.
So yeah, just been like
What's your one recommendation from him, from his comics?
all of Zoo. Like he's got a compilation called Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
He's got now 3 volumes of Zoo. So anyone pick it up, you're just gonna fall in love with him.
Definitely, you can check it out, man. Have you have the conspiracy about Courage the Cowardly Dog?
That the parents were dead all the while.
That's one.
Yeah.
The other one is that actually none of the monsters are real. It's just how the dog views the entire world.
Oh wow.
So the dog actually, he just knows his entire house and his family,
Yeah.
and any of the strangers who come to his house, he views them as monsters because he's not familiar with them. So he's just scared continuously.
Dude, that makes sense because you know, like if you're like a dog parent, like that's the first thing like doctors tell
Yeah.
you, like your dog needs to socialize,
Yeah.
otherwise like every new person that it meets it's going to see it as a threat,
Exactly.
and you never see Courage interact with another dog.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I think that's I
That's
think
wild.
that's a really cool theory.
That's
That was
wild.
my childhood is a lie at the moment a little bit.
I think more than a theory, this is like
A legit,
I
legitimate,
think
yeah.
this is like a legitimate thing, like where I think the writers would go back and think like, oh, this is why this happened.
Right.
This is like us filling in the gaps.
The other theory also from Dexter's lab. Have you
Okay.
heard that?
Which one?
That Dexter actually created his parents in the lab.
Oh wow.
The Cartoon Network actually was quite adult back then. by the
Yeah,
way.
it was wild.
If you watch those cartoons again, you're just like, they slipped in so many adult jokes in there. It's not. It's funny to us even now.
I was mad in love with like the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, dude, I
I
love
was
the
like-
Powerpuff Girls.
That was my go-to cartoon.
Yeah.
And then just recently, I just revisited it. I was like, there's a lot of really adult
Yeah.
material in
There's
there.
one little girl who says that she said I think the Powerpuff Girls come to with some small little girl, and they say that we were made by accident. She says, "Yeah, me too," and they're like, "What?"
Dude, the girlfriend,
Yeah.
the professor's girlfriend,
Yeah.
like seducer.
Right.
Her name's seducer.
I
We
mean,
never caught on to that.
we were kids. We didn't know any better.
And all they never showed us a face.
All right. Here's Shashwat Bulusu with the song "Take Me Back to the
Playground.
Playground."
Yeah. I fly up high like a wanderer. I'm going out like discoverers. I fly up high like a wanderer. I'm going out like discoverers. Done with the homework, the ABCDs, the 103 first, I'm the talk of the town. And got the socks with the blues and my father bruises to take me back to the playground. And got 100 hours of work experience in my God-forsaken playground. I ain't got knowledge, I got powers. Then I go up and down inside to the merry-go-round. I've been going to the playground, to the seesaw, and I'm free falling to the playground. Up and down inside to the merry-go-round. I've been going to the playground, to the seesaw, and I'm free falling to the playground. Into the playground. Into the playground. Into the playground. Into the playground.
Man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, man.
Okay, I want to do a favor. I want to do a
back.
rapid fire with you.
Alright.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
All right. Your favorite city.
Baroda.
If you had to sum yourself up in one word, what would it be?
Artist.
There's a gun to your head and you sing a song. Sing a song.
Kill me, man.
The weirdest sound you can make.
Oh, yay!
What does fashion mean to you?
It's functional.
One song you dedicate to me.
Take me back to the playground. My own song.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. Okay, who would win in a fight? Superman or Thor?
Thor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Marvel or DC?
DC when it comes to the
Comics,
books.
yeah. Marvel for movies.
Yeah.
All right. We have the awesome Shashwat Bulusu in our studios. Thank you so much for dropping by. And
Thanks a lot, man.
all the best for your gig and your tour. And
Thank you
keep
so
killing
much.
it, dude.
Thanks a lot, man. It's great to be here.